American Pickers is a classic staple of reality TV. The History series has been around since 2010 and featured friends, more on this later, Frank Fritz and Mike Wolf, traveling around the country buying antiques and selling them for a tidy profit. The business within a show where all of the action happens is known as antique archaeology, and Danielle runs the whole operation, while Fritz and Wolf seek out all those juicy, profitable treasures that fans eagerly tune in to see. Season 22 started up with a new cast member, Jersey John, and not Frank, joining Mike on his backroad adventures. The whole issue boiled over into public view after Fritz confirmed that he would not be returning to American Pickers, despite concluding his stint in rehab to treat alcohol addiction. In that same bombshell interview, Fritz divulged that he and Wolf had not spoken in years, even though he described their previous relationship as close enough to finish each other's sentences. Wolf later added fuel to the fire of speculation with a social media post that confirmed Fritz would not be returning to American Pickers. That announcement was couched in effusive statements of praise and affection. "I will miss Frank just like all of you, and I pray for the very best and all good things for him on the next part of his journey." Colby, who is obviously in the middle of everything, hasn't had much to say about the changes made around her workplace. Until now, that is. She broke her silence with a long, emotional Instagram post. She had a lot to say, yet seemed to say almost nothing of substance about the interpersonal feud tearing apart her show, unless you read between the lines. She rattles off a string of platitudes without offering much context, like, "You can only be where you are. Sometimes you just have to be okay with being apart," and "walk in peace and lead with love." Many fans believe that the post is an elliptical reference to all the behind-the-scenes drama that has overwhelmed her business and her reality show. Most of the commentary is vague enough that fans can read into whatever they want. That said, Colby's silence on the whole shakeup has been deafening, so this seems like a potentially deft way to weigh in without coming down hard on either side. The post appears as deeply personal as it is vague. She doesn't name any names or state any specifics, so it's unclear whether she's talking about herself or perhaps referencing the rift between her co-stars. Based on what we know about their split, though, there are some inferences we can make to bridge the gap between her words and the situation. Here's some of the missing context from Colby's post. The Sun also reported that over the 2 years Wolf and Fritz weren't speaking, many months of which were during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, Fritz was admitted into rehab to combat a substance abuse problem. He lost 65 pounds, had serious back surgery, and is finally getting a leg up on his Crohn's disease. During all of that time, though, Wolf never bothered to reach out to check in and see if he was okay. These details seem to frame Wolf as the villain of this particular story, and many fans hope that Colby's take might clarify who's in the right and who's in the wrong. That obviously didn't happen, and the one thing that remains true about this interpersonal saga is that we, the public, clearly don't have a complete picture of the falling out between these two friends. So is Colby's post a letter to Fritz, letting him know that he is still loved, even in his absence? Or is it more of a goodbye, encouraging him to be strong on his own, even though he's no longer a part of the show? It's really hard to say, but her words seem kind and encouraging. So maybe there's hope to resolve things and see both men working together again, even if Fritz only makes the occasional appearance in lieu of returning as co-host. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about American Pickers are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.